Indy.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
There's the command. Very Homajoy. And the engines.
There are 4 turns, each measuring exactly 1/4 of where in the world. The current 500 cars have to stop several times during the race. They'll take on up to 22 gallons of fuel and change 4 wheels in about 13 seconds. And they don't use gasoline. From 1965 until 2006, everyone used methanol. Starting in 2007, coal tower stood from 1957 until 1998. And prior to 57, a Japanese-style pagoda occupied this spot, and that's the reason for this current design. This one, however, has 10 floors. As late as 1961, when A.J. Foyt won his first 500, the greater part of the main straight was still of bricks and mortar. And imagine that prior to the late 1930s, the entire 2.5 miles looked like that, and it made for a pretty rough ride. How many 30-watt bulbs are there in it? 6,496. On the left is the entrance to the Speedway's famed garage area. We can't see it from here because of the trackside Formula One garage.
Okay, we'll get back to. Okay, 1973. This is the year I worked there. This is the winning car from '73. The car I worked on was a dark blue version of the exact same thing. Indy Eagle, made by Gurney and All American Racers, powered by a turbocharged 4-cylinder Offenhauser. Kids, a little history here. I worked here in 1973 at the Speedway as a mechanic. I worked here for 1 year, and it was the hardest job I ever had. It was before all the big funding came and all the big sponsors, and so they didn't have as much money, and there were 3 of us that worked on the race car, and that was it. As a result, we worked these incredibly long hours and endless, never a day off. I hated it. It's funny. It sounds like a dream job for a motorhead like me to work at the Speedway. It completely sucked. Anyway, what they've done here is taken the old garage area, which they tore down and replaced with some nice modern stuff, and they've built it. They've built an old a replica. It looks original. I don't know how they did it, but I walked in here and I flashed. It feels just like it did in '73. So they did some smart stuff. This is exactly what our garage felt like back in '73. Check out the old doors. You know, this these kind of doors and all this stuff was from carriage stuff from the 20s. Anyway, this is our cramped little deal. There was never enough electricity. Looking at the electricity reminds me. They'd always bitch at you. You couldn't have electric heaters or anything on because it was designed so long ago it was inadequate. Anyway, it's a big flash for me.